Hello, you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Whitney Nicole. I'm a divine channel. Spirit uses me as a conduit to look at what's going on in the subconscious realm for the collective. I also do this for myself in my own life. It is a little harder to see for oneself. That's why I think having these messages reflected back through the archetypes in the tarot, because we're bringing in more than one sense. We're bringing in the audio and the visual, and then we can bring in like the psychological and emotional component. My background for many years was as a psychotherapist, so spirit really works with me kind of in a therapeutic sense with people. Where not only are we kind of looking at what's coming through in the present moment and how that may be affecting us, but also like bringing in this conversation, transparency, storytelling about what it is to shift out of that, what it is to move, what is the higher frequency version of what's next and how to get there. So let's jump into the tarot. Okay, so I'm going to go in with the light activation oracle and kind of see what's crowning the reading. Spirit, show us what you want us to see for the greatest and highest good of all involved. Thank you. Okay, so solar light upgrade, solar plexus chakra, inner fire, and willpower. Is it focusing? Okay. Dropping shields, divine love, heart activation. Heart is healed. So your heart is healed. So I think it's quite obvious with this heart activation and solar plexus. We're talking about things that have gone down in the past that were not easy, that left a little bit of scar tissue on the heart, and where spirit is like making you aware of as you move forward in this new endeavor, in this new entrepreneurial project, spiritual calling. It's like you're being called into to be seen, to be seen in a different way, to be seen. Maybe you're used to being seen at a certain capacity, and maybe for some of you it's like, I'm not used to being seen at all. But this energy, like when I feel into the solar plexus energy, when this kind of pops in, it's really about coming from a place of inner power, right? This is not about I'm getting my permission from the fact that I have accolades, degrees, and people tell me that I'm qualified, or I'm getting this permission from, what it looks like here in the physical and whatever the evidence is for that. The one that's qualifying you is your spirit team, your guides, your guardians, your angels, your ancestors, divine. Like, you have the permission because you're being led in this way. You've been working on things of the heart, right? In the last reading, we talked about working on the self-love. You're approaching yourself in a different way. And this is another way of saying it's like the vulnerability. Oh, that's what it is. Whatever this project is that you're doing, there's like, or whatever this business is or this endeavor. I don't know if maybe you're working with the throat chakra too, and you're doing public speaking, or this is just about being embraced more publicly. On it's like a collective community vibe. Bringing a level of vulnerability to this is why it's like you're being asked to like not try to protect yourself, not try to approach this where it's like, I have to be perfect. I have to be, it's like, because then you're just going to feel like I'm never going to be ready. I'm never going to have every check in every box and be ready in my mind, like in your mind. So know that you're being led in the spirit. You're being backed. You literally have angel investors. They're energetically backing you to help you with this, the momentum of this thing. Willpower and inner fire, it talks about the willpower. It's like the will to do two things. In the masculine, the willpower to get up every morning, put one foot in front of the other, and devote yourself to whatever this thing is. Take the steps, the investment, the time, the energy, the devotion. it could be even the money, but it's organizing it all. It's looking at it all. That's like in the masculine. The piece that's happening in the feminine is literally in your heart. Like maybe you could even set up a practice where it's like a devotional practice where every single morning or every night, whatever you are, morning or night person, like you go in with spirit and you connect with what this thing is on a heart chakra level, because that's what's going to be the generating force behind you continuing to stay with this. And it's kind of like remembering why you're starting this, remembering what this is really all about. When your brain wants to tell you like all the doubtful, fearful, like, oh, you think you bad, you think you good, you want to do this, who's going to be here for you for that? No. It's like to really remove yourself from the lower frequency. The mind has a way of like reviewing and looking at things that it's like, why are we looking at these things? Why are we reviewing these things? So whatever it is that you're working on, you have this confirmation that you're being guided in spirit. It's powerful. A situation has ended. You're finally free. Insights that come from quiet meditation. Okay, so you got 4 of Michael and you got 10 of Michael. So I'll show you. I just want to show you the picture on this 10 of Michael because it says you're finally free. Do you see how she's on the stage taking a bow? It's like it really signifies the successful closing out of a cycle. So know that the stuff from the past, if you're worrying about it tripping you up, or if you're still learning how to like trust yourself and love yourself, just know that like take it day by day. That's the vibe I get. Like take it day by day, and what is that coming through? Take it day by day. When you spend time with yourself in a loving way, right? Not in the space of like emotionally, psychologically beating yourself up or criticizing or picking yourself apart, but go into the heart chakra activation with spirit and ask spirit to really cover you in this energy, because it's like you're gearing up for what it is that you're bringing forward. And so it's like you need the emotional juices to be flowing in a positive way. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay. Oh, spirit. Yes, we will. Okay, make bold and ambitious choices. Great progress. Important relationships with people who share your vision. So I just want to show you how, can you see with the light reflecting? Okay, that's probably better. It's like this vibe of you are definitely not alone, okay? And making sure that you are putting boundaries with people, situations, and habits that are not serving you right now on this path. These are like all the components, all the ingredients, it feels, that are going into you bringing this to full fruition. I do get like an entrepreneurial vibe, but for some of you, if you work for somebody else, then this could be like that promotion that you've been trying to go for. So this is what Spirit wants you to know in terms of how to actually bring this to fruition. Link up with the people who are here to support you. They're in the vibrational alignment with this new path, what it is that you're trying to do. You'll know if after you hang out with someone or after you engage in a certain activity or you come across something, it's like if you don't feel that forward momentum and alignment, then you know this is probably something that's not serving your greatest and highest good for what this is right now. And it's not a judgment, but it's like, okay, yeah, Prince of Wands. So we got Prince of Wands here. There's a lot of fire energy coming through. It does feel very entrepreneurial to me. 8 of Wands. See, more wands, dude. It's like you're getting a lot of downloads and information about like stuff you're passionate about, like stuff that is sparking your interest, stuff that is it feels like very passion project. It feels like very fulfillment oriented, financially fulfilling. emotional, psychologically, physically fulfilling, like all of these areas. Like it definitely feels like that's what this is all leading up to. Like I can have it all energy. Queen of Discs, Queen of Pentacles is what just popped out. Hold on, let's see. Can you clarify this? Something about your stability here, but hold on. Let's get more information. Yeah. Quite literally. So 10 of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. There's something coming here about like hearth and home, ultimate family, stability, fulfillment. It could literally be like this stability. It's coming as like a stability, fulfillment within oneself. I mean, it could include a relationship partner, but I'm almost just seeing this as like, this is really your soul energy of wanting to bring in the passion of the wands and also just wanting to be that ultimate stable queen, and it to be like felt on a heart chakra level. Like, you know how it's like sometimes we do jobs and we know we can make that coin and we know that we know how to do it. We're like very proficient at it, but like this is being proficient at something, really loving what you do, really having a joy and a stability. So it brings in the money, the abundance that you really need here. And it feels long term. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel short lived. It's like there's a real longevity about this energy. Yeah. Spirit, what else do you want us to see? Let's go back to angels again. Okay. Yeah, you got the strength card. Okay. Strength. So there is this emphasis on like, you know how I was talking about the inner battle, like the mindset game of like when we're stepping into entrepreneurship either for the first time or like the next level, the next iteration, the next version of it. I feel like the strength card really makes a lot of sense here because it's like the lower self and the higher self. And there sometimes can feel like there's a battle between the lower self and the higher self, where the lower self might try to like come in and bring things to your awareness that really don't need to be discussed. Or they're literally, quite literally, it's like the devil is a lie. Like it's a fallacy. It's false evidence appearing real. It's fear. It's a trick. It's like the lower self would rather have you stay in a quote unquote like safety place, a safe zone, but it's not this. It's not a fulfilling zone. It's like sometimes doing what we know and doing what we're good at, or even doing what we know we're good at and can make us buku bucks. That doesn't always equate to the 10 of Cups. So just know that there's something happening, like the subconscious, the lower self is sometimes sneakily kind of like playing out in the subconscious, and at times it may feel like, oh, I really need to look at that. Oh shoot, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I need to look at that. It's like, but do you really though? Like, is that the truth? Or could you, let me bring these back up, could you go back into your inner power? Oh, I love how beautiful and bright that card is. Could you be vulnerable with yourself? And it's like, instead of sitting there and having a debate with your lower self, I see this more as you dropping your shield, right? Because the lower self might make you kind of defensive within yourself, where it is like you're just kind of like upset, and you know it's like opposing views within oneself. And I see you going into this, what this card is talking about, the higher heart activation, where you're literally dropping that defensive shield. And it's like Spirit saying they would rather you drop the shield and get honest about what hurts, get honest about what maybe what disappointed you or made you feel a certain type of way through a situation, rather than go into a self debate. So there's something about vulnerability. I think I mentioned vulnerability in the beginning of the reading, but it's not just vulnerability with your audience or whoever it is that you're, like, when you create this thing, who's going to be the recipient of that, but it's also vulnerability within the self. So I think that's why you're also practicing how to be with yourself in a kinder way, you know. Let's see here, Spirit, any other advice you have for us here? It's so interesting. It's like your confidence is coming on deck here in a big way. All right, let's go back to the traditional tarot. Love a good little card drop. Okay. Anything else you want us to see? I'm bringing sexy back. Some of you need to remember who you are and start actively taking steps to honor. Here she is. Temperance, the moon. So there is talk here about, like, you may not see all the aspects at play as to why you're being called into this position, but that just like furthermore confirms that this is being set up in the spirit. This is a part of your spiritual, your soul path. So it's kind of like this feeling of at some point you're gonna be positioned to be on this path. So it's like, do the work, the emotional work now, the confidence development work now, the spiritual guidance work now, and just start moving in that direction now. Learn as you go now, because there's something very destined about why you need to be doing this. Even if it's a stepping stone as a part of a greater entrepreneurial endeavor or like greater path and purpose, you may not be getting the full blueprint of the full thing. So there is definitely a piece of advice about trusting, and letting the spiritual attunements come online as you go, and have balance, right? I see you dipping with spirit. I see you dipping here in the physical. I see you taking care of the aspects of this endeavor that are very just like, they're kind of cut and dry. They're like, you need to go and purchase this. You need to go and talk to so-and-so. You need to go and organize this. You need to calculate this. You need to put this into place. And then there's the aspect of, I need to be kind to myself, and I need to go pull that dusty dress out of the closet, go put it on and go walk around and feel myself and remember who I am, remember who I was called to be, trust, and go into a devotion of the heart around what this is, right? Because I feel like whereas in you trying to bring this to life, where you might kind of talk yourself out of it, or the lower self might try to bully you a little bit, this is where you remember why you started this whole thing in the first place. Who are you meant to help? You know what I mean? Like, who are you meant to serve? Why are you serving them? It's like there's something about who you are, because of what you've been through in your life. You know what I mean? It's like because of dang old King of Cups trying to get out, trying to jump off a cliff over here. Okay, we got King of Cups, Three of Wands, Princess of Wands. The whole gang is here. Queen of Wands. Okay, 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 okay. Okay. So, real quick here, Three of Wands. So there's definitely the energy of what it is that you're creating here, what you're creating. And I see that sometimes you get into your head when it comes to feeling like you are that, you are confident. So I'm reading this as going from the Princess of Wands to the Queen of Wands. Okay, I'm seeing that, like, don't overthink it. Like, it almost is like a confidence issue, an issue around like needing to do that glow up work so that you can feel like you're the Queen of Wands. And then ultimately, Four of Wands, this is where you're going to end up. That this is the success of it all. Okay, so right now, cup energy, quite literally needing to, work within the realm of your emotions. This just keeps coming up, just repeatedly. So I know that that is a big thing for the collective right now, is like, are you resting? Are you stopping and taking breaks when you're building this, whatever you're building? Don't let the lower self come in and say, if it doesn't get done in X amount of time, if you don't have this, or are people going to see you as the Queen of Wands, you don't even feel or look, or what if I don't have the things? Don't let the lower self stop you from creating this, because you are being called. You have spirit backing. Even on the top of the deck, can you see this? Six of Wands. It's that, what is that song? It's like Spotlight by Jennifer Hudson. There, there. I don't even know what that song's about, but there's just something about this. Literally, it's the spotlight. There's something about being called into being seen, using your voice, being in the spotlight. And there's so many ways in which a person can be on the spotlight. Like, you could quite literally be going on radio or TV, like these things we would think of when we think of like stardust and spotlight. But it could also be any form of being seen, like in your company, or maybe you're starting your own company, you're starting your own entrepreneurial endeavor, you're creating something. There's so much wand energy in this reading that it's clear that something being born from passion and purpose and a type of emotional fulfillment is coming through right now. So I think this is a good place to leave the message. Don't let the lower self be in the driver's seat. It is quite literally time for you to get moving with this. Go forward. Learn as you go. Start. I guarantee you're going to be viewed as more magnetic, more than you think. It's like people are going to view you. Don't worry about like, am I the Queen of Wands? You know what I mean? Don't overthink it. Do some solar plexus work is what I would say. Do some solar plexus meditations. If you have a candle, if you have access to fire, like a fireplace or a fire pit, or you can even go on YouTube and pull up like bonfires specifically for the solar plexus. Really tap into your inner power, because it's kind of like, where's that one card? This one, the 10 of Michael in the Archangel deck, where she's taking a bow. Can you see it there? Yeah. So you need to acknowledge that you literally have come out of a major cycle, and maybe you forget about that, but Spirit's bringing that up. It's like you take a bow because you came out of a major cycle, and we don't do that unless we've learned the lessons, we've put in the amount of work. So this is, you're not green in this endeavor. Like, you know some things. You're seasoned in some things. You know what I mean? It's like no, none of us can know it all at every juncture. So I do see how scary and intimidating it might feel going into this new iteration or brand new past aspect of what you're building. But remember who you are, how powerful you are, that you have a purpose. You came out of this major cycle, and let the past be in the past. Let it go. Let them go. Let it go. Let the situation go. It doesn't define you. I don't care what happened. I don't care if it was like, you know, like a painful ending. It's in it's in the past. It truly is. Okay, I love you, and I think I'm going to leave the reading there, and I'll see you guys in the next reading.